today. My name's Eric. As always, I want to thank you for coming by and checking out my video today. On this episode of Smo'King, I'm going to show you how to make smoked baby back ribs on the pit barrel cooker. Now, one of my favorite things to cook on my smoker, without a doubt, is ribs, particularly pork ribs, whether they're spare ribs or baby back ribs. So when I saw baby back ribs were on sale this week at the local store, I thought, you know what, it's time to do a couple racks. Now, last few times I've done ribs, I've done them either on my pellet smoker or on my auto Kamado, and I really haven't used my pit barrel cooker in quite a long time. In fact, the last time I think I did ribs on it was last summer when I had a housewarming party, and of course I didn't film a video for that. I have done a video on pit barrel cooker ribs, but like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So I thought, you know what, time to revisit it, because the pit barrel cooker, in my opinion, is a rib cooking machine, and it does such a great job, and it's a low stress deal because you just follow the basic directions and you have delicious ribs. Super easy too. I got a couple racks here of baby back ribs, and then you get some kind of rub of your choice. I have this Kansas City Cowtown, the Squeal Hog Rub. I had some of this left over because I did some pulled pork for Kyle. He had a function at his school where he sold pulled pork sandwiches, and that's why I got such a big bottle. And I figured, you know what, we'll go ahead and use this. So anyway, guys, if you got a barrel cooker, a pit barrel cooker, any kind of cooker where you can hang your ribs, check this recipe out. Stick around. I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. Let's get cooking. Alright guys, so the first thing you do is obviously take the ribs out of their packaging. I always remove this back membrane. I know some people say it dissolves a little bit when you cook it. I don't like it, but you know what, that's my personal preference. And what you do is you basically take a little knife here and you go on one side of the rib and you kind of get underneath that membrane, okay? And then it gets a little slippery, so you want to take a paper towel and grab that membrane, and then hopefully if you're lucky, you'll be able to pull that off just like this, one fellow pull. Okay, and this is just icky nasty. I like to remove it, but you know what? If you don't want to remove it, don't remove it. But like I said, I think it's nasty. Plus, when you remove it, you have a better chance for your seasoning or your rub to soak in that salt and spices into the ribs. Okay, this one's a little bit more difficult. Let me get it better. Alright guys, next thing we're going to do is we're going to season them. So I'm going to put them in the tray. I'll be back in a second when we season these things up. Alright guys, so I always put them in some kind of tray because I don't want to get rub all over my kitchen counter. Like I mentioned before, I am using the Squeal Kansas City Cowtown the Squeal Hog Rub. Use whatever rub you would like, okay? And we kind of all know how this works. Now, it's early afternoon. I'm going to make this for dinner. But what I'm going to do now, the reason I'm seasoning these first is because I'm just going to stick them in the fridge on this tray. And we're just going to let these ribs sweat in some of this rub, kind of dry brine with the salt for several hours. That's always going to make them more tender, okay? So if you have the opportunity to put the rub on a few hours before you're ready to cook them, I would highly recommend doing that. Okay, so let's spin these around. I'll try to get the sides too. There we go. And same thing on the other side, guys. You know, it's not very complicated here. This rub I'm using here, you know, most rubs have some kind of sugar in it. This #1 ingredient is salt. Be careful with a really sugary rub when you're using your pit barrel cooker, because these ribs do hang right over the flame. And with a really sugary rub, you run the risk of having it burn the ribs. All right, guys. Let's see, let me just get the sides here. I'm going a little heavy. But I have a lot of this rub. There you go, guys. Look how delicious these already look with that nice mahogany color. So like I said, I'm going to stick them in the fridge. Let's see. It's 10 minutes till noon. My kids get out of school at 3. They get home around 3:40. So I'll probably put these on right around 3 to 3:30. These are probably only going to take 2.5 to 3 hours tops. So we'll be eating dinner around 6, give or take. So there you go, guys. I'll put these in the fridge and we'll meet up in several hours when I'm ready to fire up the pit barrel cooker. See you then. All right, guys, so here they are out of the fridge. They've been sitting in there around 4 hours. So you can see that rub has really soaked into those ribs. So if you're familiar with the pit barrel cooker, we got to put some hooks in these because we're going to hang these from some bars in our pit barrel cooker. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. All right, guys, when you get the pit barrel cooker, you get these hooks. Now sometimes you can get away with one hook. Other times you might want a double hook. But these are pretty beefy, so I think we're okay. So what I like to do here is I'm going to go at least 2 bones deep. So I'm going to go right under, this one I might, no, let's do 2. So try to find that space between the second rib bone down, and then just like that. And they're going to hang in the pit barrel cooker just like this. Okay, so let's get that second one going here. And try to hook through the thicker part. You can see this part here is much thicker. Okay. Just like that, guys. And man, they make some delicious ribs. All right, I'll bring these outside. We'll give the charcoal a few minutes to get going, and then we'll put these on. Meet you guys outside. All right, guys, the kids just got home from school. Time to start the pit barrel. Now, for those of you that are new to this, you got this basket. What I do is I put charcoal, regular Kingsford here, nothing fancy. I fill it up to the top. I take around one of these little chimney, specifically for the pit barrel cooker. I'll take that out of there. And take those coals out of the center. And then I put a little bit of hickory and cherry wood around the outside because I want a little bit of smoke flavor, but nothing drastic. These are kind of little slivers here. But I just put them around the edge so it'll continue to smoke throughout the whole cook. So I'll show you how we fire this thing up in just a second. Alright guys, so you see I put the basket on the bottom here. Now we're going to start this chimney. So I'm just going to put the grate in here. We'll fire this up. We want to give this chimney a good 10, probably 15 minutes or so to get all these coals in it lit. That's one of the secret. You don't want to pour it in if these coals aren't ashed over a little bit. All right. This is not your normal size charcoal chimney. It's made specifically so you can dump it in the basket in this pit barrel cooker. So it's not going to take as long to come up to temperature. You can see they're starting to ash over. This is how you want them. You definitely want to get them lit like this. And now we're just going to pour them in the center here. And that's why we have this little tiny, one already fell outside, but that's all right. Just like one thing you can use with these rebarbs, use them like a thing here to, I'm gonna pick up this piece of charcoal, hopefully. Oh. There we go. Save the day. And it's cool with these bars here. You kind of move the coals around. Make sure they're evenly spread out. All right, so now we're gonna lay them in here, and we're gonna hang these ribs. All right, one rack right here, and the second rack on this side. Just like that, guys. I'm gonna quickly put that lid on because I see some of that wood chips are starting on fire. And there we go. With the pit barrel cooker, it's supposed to regulate temperatures between 275 and 325, and which is going to be fine. And yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. So I'm going to go inside, have a beer, and yeah, we'll check on this in a little bit. All right, guys, time for a drink review. I'm trying something from New Glarus Brewing Company. They are most famous for making Spotted Cow, but this is called Wisconsin Belgium Red. And from what I understand, they use a pound of cherries for each bottle that are grown in Door County, the other side of the state. So, not a huge cherry fan, but I'll definitely give this a shot. This is my son Kyle.
Hello.
And he's having something also with some cherry in it. This is from Frosty. This is called Cherry Limeade Soda. And where are they at? They're out of Detroit, Michigan. So that's what Kyle's having. Did you have something from them before?
I had their root beer, and I think their grape soda.
Okay. Was it good?
It was good.
All right. I remember seeing that. They had their, I guess their logos had little Santa Claus looking. Well, I don't know if it's Santa Claus. It's kind of a creepy looking Santa Claus, but it might be a Santa Claus.
Well,
or an elf or something.
It's also red, green, and white. I mean, it's frosty snow and...
Alright, so let's check this out here. Well, I can already tell it's got a red tint to it for sure.
I can tell this has a red tint to it.
Oh, yeah. Nice head. Yeah, I was just reading real quickly. Over a pound of Door County cherries in every bottle makes this uniquely Wisconsin. They say they age it for a year in oak vats. Interesting. Well, that's going to be something new for me, guys. Again, thanks for stopping by and watching the video. Cheers, Kyle.
Now, not only did these both come in bottles, they're both from the Midwest.
Yeah.
But they're also both red.
Yeah, they are both red. I didn't plan it that way, but that's how it worked out. All right, guys, thanks again. Cheers. Cheers to you, Kyle, one more time. All right. Ooh. Wow. Definitely cherry. Hang on a second. It was a little overpowering at first. It's got a little tartness to it, which I like. I don't like super sweet beers or super sweet stuff. This is definitely interesting. Wow. Wonder what the alcohol content is on this. New Glarus Wisconsin Belgium Red. Doesn't say. I'd have to look it up online, but...
Wait, what kind is that?
It's Wisconsin Belgium Red.
They're also both cherry.
Yeah. Oh, they are both cherry, yeah. Yeah. Coincidence. All right, Kyle, how's your, what is it, red limonade? Cherry limonade.
You know, I'm not convinced that you didn't plan this.
No, I did. I just picked one out. We have some drinks upstairs for him. I just reached in, grabbed the first one, and there we go. That's sometimes how coincidences work out, you know?
This is definitely good. It almost kind of reminds me more of like a black cherry than a cherry limeade, but it does... it definitely does taste like cherry limeade, and I'd say it's one of the few times where I think cherry limeade isn't just like super overly sweet and in your face.
Would you have it again?
Yeah, definitely. Especially if it's a cherry limeade I want.
Do you want to try this?
No.
You might like this. It's very cherry.
Yeah, sure I would.
Alright guys, as always, again, I appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to be having some delicious ribs here later on tonight. One more time. Cheers. Cheers, guys. We'll see you in a little bit. Alright guys, we are at 1 hour and around 20 minutes. I have not been out here. Let's take a look here. Sometimes you have to be careful with the pit barrel cooker. It kind of forces the meat to drip juices, and then those juices sometimes can put the coals out. So every once in a while you want to come out here and kind of move the coals around and open that lid just to allow that fire to kind of get hot. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to come around to the other side so you guys can see here. Look at that, guys. The only downside here, we got a little bit of a crust on the bottom. Not a big deal. Look at the color on these ribs. I mean, my goodness. Oh, I can smell them. So now, like, move them around on the bars, depending on where the heat is. I could tell where I had these over here before, the coals are not as lit. Let's take a look at these here. Oh yeah, look at these. I mean, look at that. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Alright, you know what? I see some fire over here. I'm going to maybe put both sides, both racks on this side, just because the fire seems to be more intense. I'm also going to take one of the bars here, stir these around, try to get some of these unlit coals. There's still some pieces of wood here that haven't caught. So I'm not even going to take a temperature reading or anything, because as you can tell, the bones are starting to show a little bit, but you can definitely tell they're not quite ready. You can also tell with the bend test here, they're getting there. They are certainly getting there, but they're not there yet. Typically, I would expect this to be 3, maybe to 4 hours, depending obviously on the size of your racks and also on the temperature of your pit barrel. Sometimes the pit barrel runs hot, sometimes it runs a little cooler. Alright. Now what I'm going to do, because it's almost too hot on that side, it's glowing red down there. I don't want to burn the edge, so I'm gonna move both these over to this side and then use this more as a convention cooker. It forces that heat up, and if it drips a little bit on this other side, that's fine. Just like that, guys. Man, oh man. You can see over there on the left how it's kind of really lit up. Alright, guys. We'll give these some more time. I'll come out maybe around an hour or so. We'll check these out. Alright, guys. It's been exactly 2.5 hours. I haven't been out here since last time. Yep, and here's what I was talking about. The coals almost look dead. But what we're going to do here, that's one of the things here with these drippings. I'm just going to lay this out here. We're going to take some independent temperature readings. See where we're at. I could tell this isn't done yet. Yeah, 172, 176. It's because the coals have died down. It's probably because of all the juice that drips from these ribs. But hey, just take a look, guys. Kind of see here too, the ribs are starting to pull apart a little bit, but not enough. They're not quite there yet. Let's take a look at this other rack. All right, well, one bone on the end there is coming out, but all right. So what I'm gonna do now, so I'm gonna take, first off, is I'm gonna leave the lid off for a few minutes just to get more oxygen to this fire. We still got some hot coals here, see? We're just gonna have to do a little stirring. Move some hot coals over to the other side here. We just gotta get this fire kind of going a little bit. That's the only negative about the pit barrel, is when you have some meat that's dripping juices, it can kind of extinguish the fire a little bit, which is what happened here. But hey, no problem. I'm not in a rush. I'll move some of this hot coals over here. And see, just even having that lid open for a couple minutes starts it to start to smoke again, starts those coals to heat up, which is what we want. You can definitely tell it's going like crazy on the left side here. So I'm trying to move a couple hot coals from the left side to the right side. But there's still some unlit coals on the other side here. We got more than enough coals. Alright. But yeah, in this case, you can leave the lid open for a few minutes. You can remove one of the bars. You can even put the lid on, just leave it cracked a little bit to get a little bit more oxygen flow to those coals. You can already see how they're starting to heat up like crazy, which is basically what we want. So I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move them over to the other side. Because if it drips a little bit on this other side, seeing how hot it is, it shouldn't be a problem. Just like so. And like I said, you can close it, just kind of leave it maybe cracked like that if you want to get a little more oxygen. But I already think that's fine. So I'm just going to close it up. We'll give it another like 20 minutes, half hour. I'll come out here, we'll check it again. Alright guys, we are approaching just over 3 hours. Woohoo! I haven't been out here. I always like the pit barrel cooker to do its own thing. Oh, I can definitely see the ribs are starting to pull apart. I think we're just about ready to sauce. Let's see. Okay, see the ribs, or the bones there? Yeah. They're starting to pull apart. Alright. I'm gonna lay that one right there. Let's check the second one out. I mean, one thing I love about this pit barrel cooker is just look at how these ribs look. They're nice and smoky. Alright. Let's take a couple, independent temperature readings. I love laying them out here. Gives you a good way to check the temperature. Alright, so let's check these out here. Let's go. Oh yeah, see? Basically you want to see how probe tender they are. See how easily the temperature probe goes in? Yeah. This one seems to be a little bit less cooked. This one on the back end here. Although it's coming along. And again, keeping the lid off lights up the fire a little bit. So we're around 185 on these, give or take. I'm going to apply some sauce. Alright guys, so I'm going to use some of the Famous Dave's Rich and Sassy. We're just going to like put some on here to caramelize these ribs a little bit. You don't need to use sauce if you don't want to use sauce. But I like a little bit of barbecue sauce. Alright. I'm just going to brush this on. Nice layer. I'll flip them over on the other side as well. Just like that. Look at that, guys. Man, oh man, these smell so good too. So smoky. Alright, just brush that sauce on there. Your favorite barbecue sauce. And this pit barrel cooker really is a rib cooking machine. I've made ribs probably a dozen times, if not more. Baby back, spare ribs. pit barrel cooker is also great for chicken as well. You have them, cut them in half and hang them on the hooks. Alright. There we go, guys. Just a nice layer of sauce. There you go, guys. Look at these things. Man, oh man. Alright. Look at that, guys. Wow. Could you ask for a more beautiful looking rack of ribs? Alright, I'm going to put them over here. Not under the left part. That seems to be really blaring. We'll give these like another 15-20 minutes just to caramelize that sauce. And we will be ready, guys. Be back in a minute. Alright, guys. I think these are about ready. Woo. I left the lid cracked a little bit just to get some extra heat. Oh yeah, look at these, man. Oh man. Oh, look at how easy these. Okay. These are done. Let's just take a look at the other one here. It's starting to rain a little bit out here. It's getting cold. Alright, let's check. Yeah. See, these are around 180, 190 degrees. Yeah, this is where we want them. But look how beautiful these look, guys. Man, oh man. Alright guys, I've had them covered up for a few minutes. Wow. Look at these, man, oh man. Oh, they smell so smoky. Okay. I guess right now, let me move this aside. I'll cut into the smaller slab here. Let's see, like we'll try to go right in the middle here. I'll cut the rib here. Let's just see. Alright. Alright guys, look at that. Look at the juice in that. Look at the smoke ring. Oh man. Alright, let me slice a few more ribs here. I'll get the family out here. We'll give this a sample. Let's see how will it look. Wow, look at that, guys. Alright. We'll be back in a minute. Alright, welcome back. I'm here with my wife, Monica.
Hi.
Here, grab one of these ribs. I don't know which one you want.
Whatever you think.
Well, just grab one. There's a nice little smoke ring on this.
Ooh, that looks good.
Right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Alright. I haven't had pit barrel
It smells
ribs
good. It
in
looks
a long
good.
time. Alright, let's
I'm
go.
excited. It's too nice to eat. Oh my gosh. Those are moist.
They're
Those are
moist.
good.
They're smoky. Wow.
And the flavor. The seasoning is right on. I think, like I said, that seasoning is a little salty, but when you put the barbecue, it tends to be too sweet for us. It kind of offsets it.
Well, the rub I
It's
used
perfect.
wasn't too salty. It had more brown sugar in it.
This is
Sweet.
perfect.
But man,
This is good.
look guys,
Very
not
good.
fall off the bone, but pull off the bone.
Yeah. Everyone's got a different taste, but this is good. Very good.
Well, I'm glad I decided to do these since they were on sale.
These are delicious. Thanks to Festival. These are delicious.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Good
Guys, look. Like I said in the beginning, the Pit Barrel Cooker is a rib cooking machine. You get great results. You get a nice little smoke ring.
I'm not eating two on camera.
They're juicy. They're flavorful. They're easy to cook. You just hang them on the hooks. Anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, depending how hot the fire is. Yeah. Just check them to see how they're bending, how tender the meat is. Look at that. Wow.
And I can see that smoke ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pull it right off like that.
It's really good. Really good. Honey, you nailed it again.
Yeah.
He is a Smo'King.
I do love the baby back ribs. I love ribs in general. Pork ribs, huh?
Yeah, and you were asking me like, oh, they're both on sale. Which ones do I get? I'm like, you know the ribs. I don't know. He got it right.
Yeah, I was deciding whether to get spare ribs or,
I said,
or
you
baby
decide.
backs, but it's been a while since I did baby backs.
They're good.
No, they're really good.
It's hard to compare when you don't have them side by side, but. Thank you for doing this, Daddy. I mean, Smo'King. Sorry. He's Daddy in the house.
Well, guys, if you have a Pit Barrel Cooker, you definitely need to try some baby back ribs. Any kind of smoker, try baby back ribs, man. They are delicious. As always, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. If you liked the video, hit the like button. The logo here on my shirt is the logo on the bottom of the screen. If you click on that, it allows you to subscribe to my channel. Please do that. It helps my channel grow.
It's good.
And I'll leave a link above and below to my website, ericsmokingbbq.com. Please go check that out for all my video recipes. Oh.
I almost dropped that for Dixie.
Oh, Dixie, well, she's not supposed to eat pork bones.
No. She already had a new bony today. The dog gets favored too. Well, this is good.
Something about hanging in the barrel, just that convention heat that goes around and
Convention?
the drippings.
Convection?
Convection, I guess. Is that the right word?
He's bad with words. He comes up with some funky words.
And the steam that comes up, kind of cooks it, it drips down,
Convection.
it creates more steam with that flavor. Man. Do you taste the smoke? It's very smoky
good.
too, huh?
Okay, now time to go while I educate him on words.
Alright, guys. Again, guys, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Yes,
we'll see you next
please
time.
do. Okay, Messy.
Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.
Bye.